Welcome back to Doodling with Purpose, your step-by-step, week-by-week guide to learning all of the major hieroglyphic letters. All 150 of them. Well, actually there's a lot more than 150, but 150 is a good number to know to be able to read monuments in museums and papyrus scrolls. A lot of the glyphs are not actually letters. They're called determinatives, which means they help you understand the word. But guess what? We're not going to get into any of that here because learning hieroglyphics is all about taking your time and going slow. In fact, it took ancient scribes 7 to 15 years to master hieroglyphics. So that's why we've broken this down to 3 per week. And doing it at that pace is what's going to allow you to master writing, doodling, and eventually reading hieroglyphics. Now, before we jump into our lesson, I want to talk a bit about our alphabet, the ABCs. And I use this visual very deliberately here because it's a good sort of metaphor for what hieroglyphics are. Instead of writing A as, if you will, 2 lines meeting at the top and then a little cross, or B as 2 loops with a line straight down, hieroglyphics are pictures, but they're pictures that completely represent letters. So for example, what if instead of writing the letter A, you drew an apple? Instead of writing the letter B, you drew a ball, which is, if you will, a circle with those then 2 curved lines. Or for C, you drew a cat. That's exactly what hieroglyphics are. They're just pictures that are letters. They're really basically more complicated letters. So instead of just, again, for an A, drawing 2 diagonal lines that meet at the top like an arrow, and then a cross at the top, you are drawing an apple, or in the case of hieroglyphics, a bird from lesson 1 is the letter A. So that's the way to think of them. Don't think of them as pictures as much as you are learning to draw a little bit more complicated letters that happen to be pictures. Okay? With that under our belts, it's time for our review. Let's take a look at the glyphs that we learned last time. Alright, so last time we started with the jar stand, which you remember is a line, 2 diagonals down, a base, and then we're going to do a triangle to represent the negative space. That's your jar stand, the letter G. Alright, next H is the reed mat, which looks like a maze. And then the other H, the H, is flax that's twisted. Remember to practice these. That's the way to do it. All right, you realize that by the end of this lesson, you are going to know 12 glyphs? That's enough that you could create your own hieroglyphic clock if you wanted to. You really are on your way to making huge progress. But remember, much like learning what all the letters sound like, it's very important to do them the correct way. Ancient scribes drew hieroglyphs a very specific way in a very specific order, and that's what allowed them to come out correctly. If you try to draw them incorrectly, they're not going to come out right. And if you want to grow up and become a pharaoh on your own and master these glyphs, you need to follow the way the ancient Egyptians drew them. And we know this based on their brush strokes from papyrus. So it's based on ancient evidence. All right, the first one today is going to be the k sound, like a K-H, like in the back of your throat. Now, there is some debate among Egyptologists about what this symbol actually is. Some say it's a sun disk, some say it's a platter. Others have said it's a placentia. I'm not going to show a picture of a placentia here, because we don't need that, but the point is you are going to be drawing a circle with a series of lines through it. Here's a sun disk, if as some people say it is. Alright, so let's draw this one. It's actually pretty easy. You're drawing a circle. I think you can handle drawing a circle, right? And then 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. And there you have your H. Let's do it again. Circle, just a basic circle like you did in kindergarten. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there you go. Let's fix that top one there. All right, that is your H sound. All right, everyone ready to pack up your bags and head to Egypt with your new knowledge in tow? I think you are. Well, we got a couple more glyphs to go before we're ready to tackle the pyramids. All right, this next glyph is an oxtail. It's actually an oxtail attached to the stomach, meaning after the Egyptians would butcher for a sacrifice. So I'm obviously not going to get a picture of a butchered ox, but just picture it is a tail with the stomach attached, and it looks like this. It also makes that ch sound. It's sort of an alternate letter to the previous glyph we just did. Many times you'll see that. You'll see there's lots of glyphs that have the same sound. All right, so here's how to draw the oxtail with stomach attached. Start with a small loop, then a bigger loop that connects. Now 3 lines at the top, 3 lines at the bottom, and then a little dash line to make the stomach. And that is your stomach and oxtail. One more time. Big loop after the small loop, 3 lines at the top, 3 lines at the bottom, and then a little dash line for the stomach. And there you have the oxtail and stomach. Feeling like royalty already with the oxtail and placenta behind us? All right, we're going to get on to the next glyph is not a body part at all, so it won't have the ick factor there because no one's asking you to butcher an ox here like the ancient Egyptians did. All right, the next one for today is a tall, slender reed. And no, not this reed. Yes, I know I did that same joke last time.
That's the joke.
All right, so here is our reed, our Egyptian reed, which again is a very Egyptian plant. Reeds along the Nile were a huge part of Egyptian life. They used them for everything from building to farming. They created rope. They created baskets. This is what it looks like. Now, it's actually important to take a close look at this one. It's the letter I, but there's also a glyph that is 2 reeds. That's the letter Y. We're not going to get to that one yet, but essentially if you know how to do the I, doing the Y is going to be really easy because you're just doing the same glyph twice. But for today, we're just going to do one single reed, which is the letter I. And this one is actually a lot of fun to draw. All right, so we're going to start with a line down like a candy cane, straight down and curved in. Again, candy cane, straight down, curved in. One more time. Candy cane down, straight line down, and curve in. Last time. Candy cane down, straight line, and curve in. Oh, that's a good one. Sometimes they come out better than other times. One more time. Let's see if I can nail this one. Yep, not bad. All right, there you go. So there's your reed. That is the letter I. And that's it for today. You know 3 more glyphs. Again, we're going to practice these over and over again all week so that when you have your trip to ancient Egypt, you can walk into these temples and actually be able to recognize the hieroglyphics. Heck, in time, you'll be able to read the hieroglyphics. Once we've mastered writing them, we're going to walk like an Egyptian and start learning how to read them. Not like the read we just did. That's too different. Boy, a lot of read jokes today. I really need a new joke book. All right. Thank you so much. Now remember, much like we said last time, you need to practice, practice, practice if you want to hit your target and be able to do all your glyphs. Try them out all week long, and remember to go back and do the ones from previous weeks as well. That's the key to doing this. If you like this channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.